Yo, we're back at it with this VR mining and tree chopping code along using Unity 3D. In the last video, we integrated our custom character's rig to our XR player, so that whenever we actually move our VR headset and controllers, our character moves. In this video, we're going to implement hand animations. We're also going to create custom animations in Blender and create a animation controller. Alright, so now that we have our character IKs and everything working, we can begin working on the hand animations. And the hand animations is really what adds like an interactive feel to the game. So first things first, we're going to look at adding these hand interactions using a pre-made animator. That animator you can get from the same place you got those 3 scripts for this. And you can see that right here, where this Vellum tutorials, in this package that he gave with the 3 scripts, it also had the VR controller setup that he used in his tutorial, but it also works in ours really well with our character, because our rig is set up in a very similar way. So first we'll see how to use his animator, and then we'll create our own with our own animations. We're gonna go to my mesh and let me add in his animator real quick. Alright, so the animator should be loading in. I'm gonna go under animations, and here we go. We also have 2 of the masks that this animator uses. So let's go ahead and set this animator up with our character. We're going to click the farmer and go ahead and just drag and drop this animator controller, and now we're going to set up the animator script that allows for this controller to actually fire. So for that, we go to our scripts, and out of the 3 scripts, the last one that we haven't used yet is the animate on input. And to get it set up, we have to attach it to the actual object of your character that has your rig underneath it, so where the rig builder is and everything. We're going to add component, and we're going to type animate on input, and here for the animator we're going to just drag this Farmer Bob character export back onto itself, basically, in the animator, to attach this animator to it. So now that that's done, for this to work, we have this script is actually not that complicated. Let's go ahead and open it up. What it's doing is it's setting the float based on the animator property. We have a list of animation inputs, and when one of these inputs is called, we send in the float to our animator, sending in the action value and the type. So for what the name of each of these is, what event we're looking for, we're going to go ahead and add 4 of them. 4. Okay, and for the name, this name has to match the name that's on the animator. So if we open up the animator, we can see it's divided into 2 sections, one for the left hand and one for the right hand. But really, both of them are the same. The only difference is that there's layer masks, one for the left hand, one for the right. We'll make all this and it'll be easy, but let's just go through his just to see the example. So if we notice, if we go to parameters, we have left pinch, left grab, right pinch, right grab. These are the names that we need to match to the input, and that's what this script will do. And then it calls, when those inputs are called, these values get set to 1 to call, or whatever these values are. So let's go ahead and go back to this and add those names. So left pinch, left grab, right pinch, right grab. The names have to match exactly. And now we have to add a reference from our input manager, and we're going to search up. It's going to be left. We're going to search for active value. Activate or active? I believe it's active. Yeah. Okay, active value for the left hand, and for the left pinch is going to be select value, but this one's going to be for the left hand and the same things but for the right hand. So that will be active value or activate value. And this one is going to be for the right hand. And for this, use reference. And then the select value. Right hand. Left hand, right hand. Perfect. So that should call the proper floats to set these to 1s or whatever values they need to be, and the blend tree will blend between the 3 different hand grab positions, which you will see when we press play. So let's go ahead and press play and see it in action. Okay, wait, let me hide the body and everything. This is, oh my god. Okay, hide that, hide that, hide that, hide that. I'm going to turn all those off. Perfect. And now when we press play, oh, I forgot to copy the values. That's not good. But of this hand, we'll fix that. But if you, as you can see, the animations are working. When I click the middle finger trigger for the grab, it grabs and the arms are matching, and when I click the pinch, it pinches. And yeah, so yeah, it's usable. But and it actually adds like so much more immersion to the game. It feels like now I'm in it, you know? I can do stuff. But yeah. So you could use his stuff, and you can notice it's not perfect. It moves the bones in weird ways. It's not perfect. Let me fix the hand real quick. That's going to be a problem. To fix the hand, I forgot to copy the value back. So we'll fix it in a bit. Okay. But you can see that the pinky is too close to the finger, and it morphs it a little off. It's because it's not actually made for this rig. So let's go ahead and press play. I'll take this VR headset off. And now let's move on to showing how to make the hand animations in Blender for this instead of using this, and we'll make the rig ourselves. And yeah, so this was just to show you guys how you guys can use his assets, the ones you already have downloaded, on your own model. But so let's try to now get the hands animated in Blender for our character. So we want to be able to grab and pinch and, you know, whatever hand movements, to be able to create those in Blender and import them into the game and have them work in our game for us. So to do that, first we need to go to Blender and create those animations. But first, I forgot something. I forgot to copy the hand position when I press play and then paste it back. I got it in the right position, but I forgot to paste it back. So let me just do that real quick. We'll forward through it, and yeah, just a reminder, please make sure to copy the whatever positions you want to change in play mode. You copy them so you can paste them back afterwards. Okay, so now that our hand is in the proper position, we can go to Blender and create the animations that we're going to use for our hand gestures and everything, and it really adds that extra immersion. So we have Blender open. Let's go ahead and get started on the animations. To do the animations in Blender, we'll go ahead and move to the Animate tab, and we have the dope sheet. We want to switch to the action editor, and then over here we're going to go ahead, first things first, we're going to create a new new action, and we're going to call this the default _ pose. And the default pose will just be the T pose. And so we press A to grab all the bones, and we're going to click I, and we're going to do location, rotation, scale. And your T pose has been made into a action. So we're going to fake user so that it's saved, and go ahead and create a new action. So the new action is basically just a copy, but let's delete all the keyframes. So the action actually deleted, but here we go, there it is. We're going to rename this to hand idle. So this is just the default pose for your hand when it's not doing anything. You can make it whatever you want. I'm going to keep it what it is, and for it I'm just going to select the bones that I want. So for the hand it's those bones, for the hand it's those bones. Okay, I'm going to do I, location, rotation, scale, and there we go. And now I'm just going to copy this by Control D and move it down to the 20 mark. So each of our animations will be 20 frames, and we can move to the render properties. No, that's not it. We can move to the output properties, and from the frame range we can change that down to 20. And that way when we press play, our animations will loop a little bit easier when we're seeing it. And you can change it down here too. But anyways, okay, so our handle idle is made. That's fake user. And now we're going to go ahead and do a new action. And we're going to call this one hand grab. So this one is going to be the grab of our hand, and we need to try to make this one kind of nice. So we'll It's gonna turn out horrible, but might as well. So for the hand grab, we want to first of all press A to select all the bones, and for the last, we're gonna click the top little yellow dot, select all the keyframes, and click X and delete keyframes. There, so all the keyframes have been deleted, and now we need to keyframe this into the fist closing animation, at least the pose for it. So now let's go ahead and animate them RY and just bring the hand down. I'm going to change from global to local space, and then RY, RX, and just close all the fists. Close all the fingers. Okay. So all of them are in a good spot. So there's that. I'm not gonna make the fist too tight because this is more supposed to be of a grab than a punch. Okay, middle finger is usually the furthest out. I'm just going down the finger and just curving in all the bones by pressing rotate R and then X. So that will basically create like a basic closed hand. Let's go ahead and fix this by creating RY, rotating it out a bit, and then RX and rotating that off a bit, and then RX and rotating that in a bit. That's a little bit better. And now for the thumb, RX to bring it in, RZ to bring it down, and then just go down the thumb and bring all the thumb joints in. Okay, and then just kind of get the thumb into shape a little bit closer, a little bit further. You know, this is where the artistic creativity comes in, and that's why I made this tutorial in this way, is because I wanted you guys to be able to create your own characters by following this, and your own animations, and use your custom ideas. So that looks good to me for this hand. So what I'm going to do is copy all those, copy everything basically right there, and then location, rotation, scale. So it basically is a hand closing. Perfect. And now we need to do the same thing for the other side. And one way we might be able to get away with doing it is we can copy these all. So select all this hand keyframes, copy them, right click here and paste flipped. Nope, didn't work. So we're gonna do it manually. Not fun, but that's what happens. If your bones are named right, then you can get away with doing that, but I guess mine aren't, so I can't. And I have to do the same thing on this side. Fun. Okay, so the fingers are in place. Alright, so that's the grab for both hands. Let's go ahead and grab everything for that hand, grab all the bones for that hand, and we're gonna click I, location, rotation, scale. We're gonna go ahead and grab all of these keyframes and just move them over one so it's on 20 exactly. And yeah, if we press play, we can see that the hands are closing. That will be our grab animation. That worked perfectly. Let's go ahead and create a fake user. So save it, and let's create the last animation, which is going to be a lot easier to make, which is a pinch. So hand pinch. So the hand pinch will be a little bit easier to make, mainly because what we'll do is, first of all, we'll delete this keyframe right here. So for that, copy over all the keyframes by Control C when they're selected and Control V where you want them to be. And now that we have the keyframes copied over, we can create a simple pinch, which should look something like this. We want all these hands to be exactly where they are. Well, we'll just create a simple pinch. Obviously that isn't exactly right. We'll get the Y a little bit more this way. There we go. So that will be the pinch for that hand. Let's do the same thing for the other hand. So one thing I want to focus this, so view frame selected. There we go. Now we'll move this down, this down, this down, this out a little bit, this out a little bit, move this down a little bit, move this down a little bit. A lot of this is just messing around, at least with the animation stuff. I'm not an animator, so I just like to play with these values a bit. Alright, so the pinches have been made as well. So we're going to go ahead and click the hands, select both of them, and click I, and then location, rotation, scale. So now that pinches are made, let me go ahead and fake user for the pinch. The idle is made. The hand grab is made, and the default pose is made. So all four of the poses or the actions that we want have been made. So we're going to go ahead and click File, Save, and then we're going to click File, Export, And just so you guys know, if you click Z and then go to material view, you can go ahead and see everything in color, how it looks, the hand grab, well, select everything, the hand grab, and all the other ones. So okay, so file, export, FBX. We're just gonna click the FBX we already exported and make sure all these settings are the same, so copy and that, right, and then export FBX. And we'll go ahead and go back to Unity now that our Blender animations are done being made. Now that our animations are done being made, we can go into My Mesh, and then we see that the Bob character export that we had created now has our animations in it as well. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Now let's go to rig. We already created the humanoid for this rig, right? What we next want to do, let's make sure all of our animations are good and in. Yep, perfect. Now we can create our avatar masks based on this avatar that is created when we go ahead and go to rig and set it to humanoid and generate the rig, right? We did that earlier and that created us this avatar. We want to use this avatar in our rig and we want to create a mask. So we go ahead and create, and we're going to create a avatar mask. We're going to call this Bob left hand, and we're going to go ahead and create another avatar mask and call it Bob right hand. So we have our two masks, and now to set up our mask, we go into the Bob left hand, go to transform, and go ahead and take our avatar and drag it into the avatar and import skeleton and check everything off except the rig. Okay, and then when we go to humanoid, we're gonna go ahead and set everything off except the left hand. This will be for his left hand, and that's his left hand right there. We're gonna do the same thing on the right hand. So add in the ring, import it, go ahead and uncheck everything. And if you were going to do it this way only, you could go into your root and uncheck the bones that you don't want to be used, but we have this to do that. So now on this side, for the right hand, we're going to only enable the green right hand, and there we go. That is set up for our avatar masks. And now we go ahead and create a new animator. And we're going to name this controller Bob's Animator. Alright, we're going to open up Bob's Animator, and we're going to go to layers, and we have our base layer. We'll leave that how it is. We're going to create another layer and call it left hand layer, and we're going to create another layer after that and call it right hand layer, and we're going to have to assign the proper layer masks. So we go ahead and select our Bob left hand layer mask, and then we're going to select our Bob right hand layer masks. And now for our layer mask, we make sure our weight is set all the way up, and there we go, blend mode set to override. Okay, now we need to create our parameters. So we're going to have to match these parameters to what is being called on our controller. So left pinch, right pinch, and we're going to match it to the script that we're going to use, and that is the third script we got from this guy's tutorial. Right here, Vellum tutorials. So from this tutorial we got 3 scripts, and the third one is going to attach and match to our animator. So for the first parameter, we're going to do a float, and we're going to name this left pinch, and then we're going to do another float, call it left grab, and then another float, call it right pinch, and then another float called right grab. So we have our floats here. And now let me just clear this. So we have our floats here, and now we can begin creating what we're going to be doing is creating a blend tree that will blend our animations together, and the blend tree will be affected by these parameters. So we're going to do both for left hand, right hand. But first, let's go to base layer, go ahead and create state, an empty state, and we're going to create a T-pose. We're going to add our T-pose into this one. So go to projects, go to my meshes, open it up, our animation, and our animation, I believe one of these is the T-pose. Alright, default pose. The first one is the default pose, which is our T-pose. That's fine in our base layer as our default state. Next, we're going to switch to our left hand layer, and this is set to override, not additive, good. So our left hand layer, it's set to be active, wait, okay. And now we're gonna create a new state from a new blend tree. I'm gonna call this hand blend. Okay. So let's go ahead and click our blend tree. And now wait a minute, I changed the name of something I shouldn't have. Let me go ahead and Control Z and unlock this. So this is T-pose. Go to left hand layer. Our blend tree will be called hand blend. Let's open it up. And here we have changed some of the settings for it. So let's go ahead and click on blend tree. We're going to change to a 2D freeform Cartesian, and our parameters will be, this is the left hand, so left pinch, left grab. Actually, let's do left grab, left pinch. Okay, and make sure you add zeros here so the bars actually show up. And let's add 3 motion fields, 1, 2, 3, and these will be the 3 fields that we have. So it will be our 3 leftover actions or animations that we haven't used yet. So hand grab, oh well, I got hand grab twice. So hand grab, hand idle will be at the bottom, and in the middle we'll have hand pinch. And to have these set off, so for our X we have our left grab, so when our hand grab is 1, we'll do that. When our hand pinch is 1, we'll set that, and then 0, 0. And that should set up our wonder why it's saying these positions. Well, these are exactly the same, so I see that, but why is it not showing these right there? We go. So the hand grab is going to be 1 on the Y. Is that correct? Let's see, how is this looking over here? Okay, this, when we have the grab up, we don't want that. So we want this to be 0, we want this to be 1, we want this to be 0, we want this to be 1. Yes. So when our grab is up, it grabs, and when our pinch is up, he pinches. Perfect. That will be it for our left hand. Let's do our right hand. Same kind of deal. So we're going to create a new thing from blend tree and name this blend tree hand. What did I name the other one? Hand blend. Hand blend. And then we go to hand blend. And we click it, change it to 2D freeform Cartesian. The X will be the right grab, the Y will be the right pinch. We're gonna add remotion fields, same deal, throw in those three: the grab, the pinch, the idle. For the idle is going to be 0, 0. For the grab is going to be 1, 0. And for the pinch, it will be 0, 1. And that should have our everything working for our right hand. I guess that. Okay, so those are working, and let's hope that our mask is actually working. All right, that's good for our animator. Let's go ahead and click on our Farmer Bob export. For its avatar, make sure that the proper avatar is assigned for it, and then for the controller, go ahead and add the controller right here. Okay, so that the animator's on. Now we need to attach the script that will make this whole character work. And to do that, we need to add this animate on input script, right? So we add the script, we go to Farmer Bob character, and down here I already had it on, but I just removed it so I can add it again to show you guys. You click add component and animate on input. That's the third script that we got from the package from Vellum tutorials, and now we're going to use it. So make sure you add it to the Farmer Bob character export, or whatever object has your human rig and your your bone renderer and everything. So here, the one we have to give reference to the input. So on the controller, what the input is, we're using the input manager, and we have to make sure that that input is matched to the name that we have in our parameters. So for the left pinch input, it has to match the name left pinch so it can be sent to our animator. And that's what the script actually does, is just basically play the animator whenever these values are to whatever these values are. Okay, so to add the animator, we grab the game object with our animator on it that we just created, and we drag it onto the animator. So that's attached, and now we have to add 1, 2, 3, 4 elements to this animation input list. And for the animation property name, we need to match the names that we had in our animator. So left pinch left grab, right pinch, right grab. Okay, now we click use reference, and we have to assign the proper reference to the action, the input action. So we're going to go ahead and click that, and for the left pinch, it's going to be active value, or activate. So go ahead and type activate value, and make sure you grab the one for the right hand, for the proper hand. So for the left hand, click the left hand active value interaction, and then the same thing for the left grab, except we're going to use the select value before the left hand. Make sure, so left hand interact select value, and then for the right pinch, we get the active value before the left, for the right hand, or activate value for the right hand, and the select value for the right hand. No, yeah. Okay. So when we have the animate on input script, everything is set up in there. Now our animator should animate based on the events. Let's go ahead and see in play mode. Well, that definitely is not right. Wow, and I forgot to copy over the hands values once again. I can never get this person's hands values in correctly. It's crazy. Okay, so what's actually happening now is when we go to our scene, our character is too far up. And to fix that, we need to move him down. So what we have to do to make sure that the head isn't so crazily offset, now that we have the T-pose in, because now that we have the default T-pose, it's actually where it should be. We go down to our Farmer Bob script and go to IK target follow, and we have to mess with our head body position to get the right head body position yet again. So here we have our head body position. Okay, so it's looking like the head position is actually exactly where it should be now, which is good, which is exactly where the head target is now. 1.5759-ish, I think it will be a good value. So we'll go to farm, go ahead and move this to 1.58. Let's get it right in the middle. And then when we press play, oh, another thing, I keep making this mistake and it's not fun. I keep forgetting to paste the value for the right hand once it's aligned. Please don't be like me, you guys. Man, that's not good. So let's go ahead and fix that right hand value yet again. So as you can see now that now our actual animations are working. When we click that, when we do, I don't know, the pinch is a little weird. We'll have to see why it's off. And it probably is because the pinch comes in blended. So it's the blending that's messing it up a little. We'll fix that. But overall, look, I can grab. It feels very natural now. And that's the cool thing about the hand animations. They really bring the extra feel to this game. I need to fix this. Oh, it's gonna kill me. Okay, let me fix this right hand before I talk any further. Right, look at that. Cool. So we have our hand animations working. Now, one thing I want to check is go to the animator, and we can see the active animations, what's playing, how the blend is happening, all the stuff, right? So let's go ahead and see real quick. When I click grab, it activates the grab for the right hand. I click pinch, it activates the right pinch. Perfect. And when it's idle, the idle is activated. So everything seems to be working just fine. Alright, now that the hand grabbing is working, we will add in movement. And movement is actually very easy to do in this. So I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server so that all of you can talk to me whenever you need. If any of these projects or any of my other projects are interesting to you and you would like my help with something else or just like to discuss and talk about things, please join the Discord server. I'll try my best to be on there, and we'll even host some random talk nights or something. So hope to see you there. Thanks everybody for watching. So this will be the end of this part, and we'll continue this along in the next one. If you guys enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. It would help me out. And also remember to join the Discord if you're interested in having conversations or listening into some of the talk nights. Have a good one. Goodbye.